Hi there. Do you know who I am? I'm on my way to Gotham City. But I thought I'd stop by and chat with you for a little bit and then I gotta run. I want to tell you about my superpowers and how I found them, and also share with you how you can find your own superpowers and activate them and be your own superhero. But to tell you the truth, if you can keep a secret, I'm not really this guy. My real name is Jermaine, and I'm the founder of the organization Fresh Justice. And one of the major goals of my organization is to promote racial reconciliation and harmony in our society. Basically, to change the world and make it a better place. Racism is a scourge on our society. One of the things that I want to do as part of my organization's work is to be a strong anti racist and a strong voice to defend the weak and the vulnerable. And I think you can do the same. You can be your own superhero and find your own superpowers to be an anti racist. I'll tell you a story though. When I was young, Batman wasn't my favorite superhero. You know who it was? He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Every evening, you can tell, I would run from school on a Tuesday evening, I think it was, to catch He-Man at 5 p.m. I didn't want to miss even a second of it. And I would watch and pretend to be a superhero. I wanted to be like He-Man. Whenever He-Man reached for his magic sword to activate his superpowers, I would reach for my little sword too. I would say like He-Man, I have the power. Well, another truth. He-Man got superpowers. I didn't. And it took me a while before I finally owned the fact that I wasn't going to get superpowers from my magic sword. But when I was 14, in my class, I was a pretty smart kid, not to toot my own horn, and the teacher liked me. But one day, that same teacher, I saw her belittle another student and call that student stupid just because the student was a little different from other people and did not quite understand what was going on. And I couldn't stand it. And it didn't matter to me whether she liked me or not, or whether I was a smart kid or not. I decided it was not fair and I should use my voice and do something about it. So I spoke up and I told the teacher she should treat everyone fairly and in the same way. You know what happened? That was no fairy tale. I got punished. And the teacher made me apologize to her in front of the whole class. But you know, I couldn't have cared less. To this day, when I look back, that is one of my proudest moments as a young person. I learned on that day that maybe I don't really need this mask to be a superhero. That I can be a superhero by using my voice to defend and to speak up for the weak and the voiceless and those who are being treated differently or being taken advantage of. And that to activate that superpower, my little sword here is good, but I don't really need it. Do you know what I need? I need love and I need courage. If I have those two, I can always activate my superpower and I can always use my voice or any other superpower I have to defend the weak and the vulnerable. After that day when I used my voice, I never ever heard the teacher call another student stupid or belittle them for being different or for learning differently. So I may have got punished, but change happened and I'm proud of it. Now you can find your own superpowers and you can activate those superpowers if you learn to love and if you have courage. And we all have it. We just need to find it. So, if you're a student, let's say you're picking a team at school for a competition or a game or an event, you can activate your superpowers and change the world by starting right there. You can make sure that you're not just picking a team of people who look like you and think like you and come from the same place, the same zip code, who do the same things that you do. Because all superheroes know this: your team needs to be made up of people with different skill sets, different perspectives, different experiences, different outlooks. That way, you will make sure that your team is complete and all your bases are covered. Now, it's the same thing with life. Diversity is very important to make sure that your life is complete. So, if you hear someone say that that student over there is different and you should not associate with that student over there because of their skin color, you can activate your superpower. You can let that person know that he or she is wrong, that we all benefit when we share. If you share your life, your games, your toys, your experiences, your food with someone who looks different from you, and let them share their lives with you, it's a win win, and we all benefit, and our society changes for the better. And you can do the same in your community and at home, and wherever you are, you can find and activate your superpower, and you can start to change the world. It's not too late. But I'm not just talking to children and young people, I'm talking to adults also. It's never too late to find and activate your superpower and to be a superhero like me. Wherever you are, you can activate your superpowers to change the world. And remember, all you need to activate your superpower is love and courage. So let's say you work in a bank. You can activate your superpowers to ensure that all persons are treated equally and equitably. So you can make sure that Black persons and brown persons are given loans that they qualify for in the same way that others are given loans. You can make sure that all minorities are treated the same and have access to the same services, the same benefits as everyone else, so long as they qualify for them. Because you know that you're in an environment where biases tend to operate. If you're a teacher, you can do the same. You can make sure that all students, regardless of where they live, what their zip code is, how they look, what food they eat, what background they have, what their culture is, that they get treated fairly, that their potential is affirmed, that they are given every opportunity to self actualize as everybody else. Let's say you're a police officer. Hey, you have a lot of power, but you can also activate your superpower to ensure that all persons are treated fairly and justly. You can be a whistleblower too. You can point out the bad apples among you who are trying to spoil the whole bunch. You know, those who foolishly target and frame and brutalize persons who are minorities just because of their skin color. And if they're ignorant, you can teach them about biases and you can help them to overcome those biases. That's a great way to activate your superpower. Remember, all you need is love and courage. Let's say you work in real estate. You can activate your superpowers too. Make sure that if you are appraising houses, you appraise everybody's house the same for its correct value. So houses occupied by Black persons are appraised at a fair market value, just like houses occupied by white persons. Wherever you are, in whatever space you occupy, you can find your superpower, you can activate them and change your world. You can learn about racism and how it operates covertly and overtly. And when you learn, teach. And when you teach, practice what you teach. And when you practice what you teach, you change the world. I think I have to run. I got a city to save. But here's what we've learned. We all have superpowers, and we can all activate them if we have courage and if we love people. You know, years ago, I wanted to change a system in a public office because it was unjust. And I wanted to demonstrate against it powerfully. But someone looked at me and said, "You are naive. They're never going to change and give you what you want." And it hurt me. And I decided, if that's naive, if believing in change, if fighting for change is naive, then I was going to stay naive until I changed the world. You know what happened? It was a tough fight. And I got punished. Yes. But eventually the system changed. And I left it behind in a changed way. So promise me this, superheroes. If someone tells you you're naive because you try to change the world by activating your superpowers, let them know. Jermaine said, Batman said, if that is naive, you are going to stay naive until you change the world. Remember, we all have the power. We have the power! I gotta run. Go and change your world. See you later, anti-racists and superheroes.